Okay, everybody, this is my spoiler review of The Northman. Make sure you see the film first before you watch this review. I was very excited for this film. I'm a huge Robert Eggers fan. My favorite still being The Witch. And then The Lighthouse I thought was excellent too. Not as good as The Witch, but still loved it. And this film, I was a little worried going in because I know it was a different genre. It still had its tastes of horror in it, but it's this big epic now revenge tale. And I was curious how Robert Eggers was going to approach that, especially with the bigger budget, not being on A24 anymore. Now he's with Focus Features, and seeing what was going to come out of that. And now he's got also a different co-writer, which he does every film, but this one was co-written by Sean. So my thing about this film when you watch it, and I think that it just does everything right in the department of making a really strong revenge epic Viking tale, right? And that the brutality of it, everything is so intense in it. But what was so disappointing about it to me was knowing who's behind it in Robert Eggers, and that his films with The Lighthouse and The Witch, you feel something from it and you are thinking about it for days after, right? It's a really smart script, those stories, and that they end on like a haunting visual that stays with you. It sticks with you, you feel, right? And that's the most important thing with the films. And that's why I was worried he was doing a revenge tale, because a lot of times you just kind of watching through one character's eyes, you know where it's going. There's not much leeway to be had, and I was worried that was going to kind of be a trap for him, and I do think it was eventually a trap for him. And I think that it does what you need to do right to make a good revenge story, right? And that I enjoyed everything that was happening in front of me. I was very entertained by it. But there's this nagging thing in your head. I don't know if you felt this way, that I felt watching it, that I know who's behind this. I know he's a guy who's known for smart stories. And why is this story not trying that? Why isn't it stimulating my brain? Why am I not feeling anything from it? Why am I not feeling that I'm learning something new? This was just, again, a movie that the visuals felt unique and fresh, but the story did not. You know, I've seen these story beats before over and over again. I've seen this message before over and over again. I've seen this twist over and over again. So that's where I was incredibly disappointed with this film. And it's not saying that I didn't like the film, though, because I really like the film. I think it's super entertaining, and I think it has one of the best scores we've had in years. I think having the same cinematographer he always doesn't hurt him at all. He's amazing, and the cinematography here was amazing. I think the production design, the costume design is awesome, and I do wish there was more Willem Dafoe, right? Because he's just a scene stealer in all this. And I also was a little disappointed with Anya Taylor-Joy's character. I don't think she really has much to do. I don't think it's a great character, but she's great. Alexander Skarsgård crushes it, right? I think he was perfect for this role. I thought Nicole Kidman, I don't know if she didn't fit the part that great, but nothing really going on there that impressed me. I thought the standout was actually Clay's Bang here as the uncle. I thought he was great. I wasn't familiar with him before this, but I know he played Dracula recently, but I'm excited to see what he does because he just was the best part of this film to me. But that's the thing, is like, at the end of the day, you watch and you go, okay, you know what? That was a really good episode of Game of Thrones. That's what I felt like I watched. And that's disappointing because with Robert Eggers, you want to leave thinking about it, talking about it, you know, letting it just soak in on you. I don't think that happens here. I think it's really just this box office blockbuster now he's doing. And that is just something I'm just a little worried about. And I don't want it to go that trajectory for him where he starts escaping what he's, you know, known for, which makes him in that different level of directors and writers. But that's the thing that confuses me too, because it's so hard to review something like this, because for what it is, it does an excellent job. Like, I don't fault it for anything in that department of visuals or directing, but it's, again, that story. It's just, okay, I've seen all these story beats before. I've seen this twist. I've seen this message. So that's what is just so disappointing. And that's why I get confused with some critics who will be like, oh, this was his masterpiece and his best yet. But it's like, so did you not value where he really shines in his writing, the last two films he did, that you're thinking this is his masterpiece? What was it about this, just because it had a bigger budget, because it had bigger action, that it's a better film? That doesn't make sense to me. I think that actually takes it down. So I'm giving this one an 8.1. Please don't confuse that thinking I didn't like this film. I really like this film. And I think that it's something I would definitely see again in theaters just to have fun. But it's just strange to me that Robert Eggers is doing a film that I can shut my brain down on and not really have to really think. Let me know, though. Maybe you guys had a different reaction to it. This is how I feel, though, and I think it's definitely number 3 out of his films. I still think The Witch was the best, then The Lighthouse, and this was, a full point drop in quality, which is really disappointing, but still solid. And again, in those other departments, that's not writing, awesome. But writing is the most important, and I need to feel something and I need to think about something when I go to the movies. And if you're just going to make another Revenant mixed with Game of Thrones and a little bit of Lion King sprinkled in, okay, cool. Like, I'm happy I can see you can work well with the big budget, but I just feel like he is better than this. He is more of a higher ceiling, and I hope he doesn't start falling into things that are going to kind of keep him boxed in, because that's what I was worried about when I saw what he was planning to do next, and that's exactly what ended up happening. So it's strange to me they don't see that happening ahead of time either. So who knows? But let me know what you thought. I love to hear your thoughts. I read every comment. I try to respond as many as I can. Let me know what you thought about all of Robert Eggers' films, and where would you kind of rank them. I'd like to hear that as well. And please follow me at Steve Varley Show on Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok for more of me. And I'll see you next time.